And we are good. Yo, what's up, everybody? We're back for the episode of the Spiel Live. This is where, before Cold Blood and I go play our video games for the day, we just rap about what's going on in the gaming news. We got a couple of quick stories that are hilarious to me. First and foremost, Cold Blood showed this to me this morning. I'm gonna say this, y'all better come through, gaming community. You better come through, because y'all were talking all that snazzle, that snizzle fizzle chisel pazzle. Whoa, look at Helldivers 2. It's back up, but that's because of that new update today. I wish I had an opportunity to try it out. Unfortunately not. Let's do this. Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, boy. 14,000. That's all we can muster up for Final Fantasy 16, right? I don't know, Cold Blood. I don't know. Is this the best we can do for its PC launch? What's going on here? Remember, y'all was talking all that smack. Oh, the Square Enix failed because they're on PlayStation. It's gonna be their undoing. Put this on PC. Watch what happens. Okay. I thought Final Fantasy 16 did around 3 million its launch week. These don't look like numbers indicative of you doing 3 million. Yeah, you put it on. Put it on the PC. It's gonna do great. It's gonna say we're gonna save Square Enix. I'm gonna tell you guys this. If y'all motherfuckers don't do better, what the fuck you think Xbox is gonna do? Like right now, what's that? 14,847. When this shit launches on Xbox, it's gonna say 7. like, come on now. I want to see where you guys at. Yeah, I mean, put it on there. Watch what happens. We're gonna save Square Enix. Ain't no saying. This is why, if you're a member, this is why you hear me go on my rants that I go on, because y'all in this community, y'all talk so much shit and y'all don't mean it. Y'all are full of shit. Literally. Like I can smell the shit through my mic. Y'all are full of shit. All this, you better do this, and and everybody, all these content creators sitting there talking all this shit. Like, where are you guys at? Y'all still talking about PC versus PlayStation Pro, 5 Pro? For crying out loud, nobody wants to do. Where's the 3 million? Remember, PlayStation is a failing platform.
I know where they are.
Where they at?
I know where they are. They're sitting right now on their fucking uTorrent or BitTorrent or whatever and waiting for the download to complete. That's what they're sitting right now. Facts.
Failing platform. Get off of PlayStation. It does you no good.
And bro, remember, that motherfucker came out at $70 for PlayStation units, and they got 3 million. And this shit right now is $50, bro. And they can you must have 50K at the same time. Ridiculous. You are the fucking joke of the community.
They are. Nobody pay attention to that. They're getting killed day after day. And even though we have our apprehensions about the PlayStation 5 Pro, like they're going into the deep weeds. Like, and that's going to be another thing that kills them. Either keep killing y'all's brand, please. Send everybody to our channel. We love it. We realize it's no coincidence that we, a little small channel, went from scrambling to get 5-10 people. Now, on a good day, we could see 75, whatever, plus. We've seen 75 plus in the last 7 days or so, right? videos are getting more volume. It's no coincidence. It's because people are tired of hearing bullshit. I'm about to show you some more bullshit, but I just want to know, Cold Blood, where's all the Final Fantasy VII lovers at? You gotta get out here, put it on PC, cause yeah. Look at this shit.
Ask Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Ask Sean where they are.
Where are they at? Yeah. So, and then look, you guys are getting the better version of the game than was launched on PlayStation day one. They done tweaked and tweaked and feeked all that shit. So you guys get the benefit of the game being played on PlayStation, Square Enix knowing what to address, and them launching a PC version significantly cheaper. And we still don't have 15,000. But I tell you what motherfuckers are playing. Playing Helldivers 2. You guys are a joke, man. You guys are a joke. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me shout out this chat. The chat is.
Did we get the members for the Foundry Friday shit?
Did we get the members? No, not yet. We're at 5. We did, and those are the 5 that I carried over from Friday. I carried them over from Friday and added them to this week. So you guys are getting a bonus. I'm out instead of me waiting for 1 week total, I'm actually doing a 2 week total. So all we need is 5 more, and we're gonna have another Fold Me Friday. So just so you guys are aware. Yeah. What are we doing? Where you guys at? We got Phil Boss. He said, salute every. What were you gonna say?
No, I was about to shout out Ruham in the chat.
Shout out Ruham. What's going on, brother? Can't wait to play Spider-Man 2 and Horizon Forbidden West again day 1 on PlayStation 5 Pro. There you go, brother. I'm not mad at you. I remember that all the Xbox fans were saying that Final Fantasy was going to sell better on Xbox. Yeah, like I'm looking at this, and I dare the Xbox, like PlayStation guys and PC guys are going back and forth. And can I say something, PlayStation guys? Like, don't even address them, man. Don't even address them. They got their underoos, their hemorrhoids are flaring up so much that they're upset about a niche product for console gamers. Why? Because when you look at the Steam surveys, you find out there's only 5 of the motherfuckers that have all the components that they brag about. The overwhelming majority just have enough so they can play banana and shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's only 5 of them that got these ultra finite PC parts, right? So they can't argue with each other. They get tired of the 4 looking at all 5 of each other in the fucking face. It's like the Spider-Man meme. At some point in time, you can get tired of only pointing at 2 other motherfuckers. So they come over to the console side and they start talking shit. I would just ignore them. Like the fact that the 4070 was brought up at all was brought up as just like a measuring point, because you know PC components are always measured and benchmarked. There's all these sites that do that, and there's not a lot of sites that do that for consoles. So it was just used as a contrast mechanism. You know what I mean? Some of the console people too are talking out the side of their ass, talking about, yeah, it'll destroy a 4070 in there. Let them be to themselves. This is a product for PlayStation gamers. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit, but I'm still trying to find out, where are the Final Fantasy motherfuckers at? Where you guys at? Help! Square Enix is like, help! Y'all know Xbox gamers ain't going to buy Final Fantasy 16. They barely bought Street Fighter 6. They barely buy anything. They barely buy a fucking console. They don't even belong in this discussion anymore.
You want to look at the sales numbers right now, Mouse?
Say that again.
You want to look at the sales numbers of both consoles right now?
Oh yeah. I did see that somewhere. Who had that? Red Dragon? Yeah, let's take a look at that shit. Let's look at that shit. Like these motherfuckers, but they're like they're trying to hide behind PC people and throw and throw stones. Like, stop it. God damn it, Red Dragon. I hate when people like make weird ass. Red Dragon, I can't find him. And in X's search is dog shit right now. Man.
I found him.
Hey, can you send me a link to him or something like that?
Gotcha.
Every time I go to search for him, I can never find him. Because he got his shit in all caps, and the way Twitter is right now, the search is all. Send me a link. Cause yeah, I'm gonna put up Red Dragons. There it goes. Thank you, sir. And I follow. No, man. Excuse me. Let's do this. Copy link. Put this shit up here. Xbox people are trying to hide behind PlayStation people. Get them. They said it's a 4070. Get them. Look at these fucking numbers, man. This is an embarrassment. PlayStation 5 is now selling Xbox more than 2-1, right? Global lifetime hardware sales. The PlayStation 2 drop kicked and took a fucking spike back to the nuts of the OG Xbox. But again, they were entering the game. It's okay. I get it. Look at this shit. It was more competitive. And Xbox sold more software, which that's really the name of the game. And this really sent PlayStation into a pickle. A few more generations like this, no telling you may have been able to take over, because PlayStation needs to have a drastic lead because their bread and butter is gaming. But what you do next gen, you totally shit the fucking bed. And now you're on pace to do worse than you did last gen. How do you go from 84 million to 57 million, man? How do you do that? How do you fucking do that? Now, this generation where you went 84 million, you had to fight and claw and scratch all those and get all those exclusives, right? You had to scratch and claw and get Grand Theft Auto and Final Fantasy and shit. Now by this generation, all that shit is customary. All that shit is customary, right? And look what happens. All that is customary. The games, the majority of the multiplats are now on both platforms. This is the first time where it was like even kill with multiplats. You guys whined and cried, oh, the money hat. The majority of the fucking games are on both platforms. It's the first time it's been like this in fucking decades, bro. All you gotta do is live up to your part by what? Exclusives. That's the only thing that's separating these two, really. I mean, I get the whole power narrative, but the average gamer don't know the difference between a fucking 180p. The difference was exclusives. Your launch exclusives weren't the greatest, but at least you had some. Phil takes over and they die. Hardly any second party deals or any noteworthy second party deals. You're bringing back old games with the original fucking assets. You launch a mid-gen refresh with fucking Lucky Tales. And then now the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, I mean, I don't even need to get into that one. Don't even buy your own console. What are you in this discussion for? How is Xbox going to make Square Enix better? Xbox can't even make Xbox better. As a matter of fact, in order for Xbox to do better, guess where they had to fucking go? They had to go to PlayStation. What type of fucking sense does that make? Xbox gamers don't even buy their own games. PlayStation gamers buy more Xbox games than Xbox gamers. You had to go to PlayStation for your survival. And you're trying to tell me that Square Enix is better off on Xbox? Look at this shit. Look at this shit. It's not even at 20,000 on PC. Launch day, $20 cheaper. It's under 20K on PC launch day, $20 cheaper. You think this is going to be better on Xbox? Like, they're probably Square Enix is probably looking at this right now, bro, and they're probably saying, kill that Xbox port. Fuck it. Xbox probably wrote them a fat check too. Said, here, take this back. Take it back. We don't want the embarrassment. We don't want to see our we don't want to see our games at 5 and dime being sold for $5 a pop like Battleborn and shit on Xbox. We don't want motherfuckers getting their EBT cards and then, you know, they get a free copy of Final Fantasy XVI with DLC and shit. We don't want that. Like, there is nothing for Xbox dudes to even talk about competitively. And then, as it relates to the Pro, if I was an Xbox dude, I would just talk about Concord. I would still talk about Concord. Hold on, who the fuck is calling? Hold on one second. Okay. Sorry about that. Telemarketer. I thought it was my wife. Geek to sneak in the house. Here's what I'm trying to understand. Why is it that you guys are laughing at the PlayStation 5 Pro, which on record will be the most powerful console out there, period. There's no arguing that. I get that people can gawk at the $700 price tag, and that makes sense because we're doing it too. I understand that, but you do know, right? Cold blood. You probably weren't aware of this, right? This might be the first time you're hearing this, Cold Blood. You might have not heard that the PlayStation 5 Pro, in being the most powerful console out there, is likely going to get the most attention when it comes to reviews. You might not be aware of that, Cold Blood. This may be the first time you're hearing that, right?
Huh? Wait a fucking minute. Hello? You're stealing my fucking ideas, though? Well, what? Nah, buddy, we don't do that now. I was the first to tell. No. I was the first to realize that shit is gonna be marketing exclusive now for PlayStation.
Oh shit! What's
These
up,
fucking
Jerry,
reviewers?
There might be breaking news, but no. Meanwhile, if you follow the content, which if you haven't, man, shame on you, because this is the only place where you can get the fucking truth at. I want you to go back through our content over the last year, even further. Tell us where we fucked up. Tell us where we fucked up. Tell us. All right. Anyway, so Cold Blood and I were having a conversation, and Cold Blood brought it up in a recent prior podcast that, hey, when it comes to reviews and this PlayStation 5 Pro drops, where do you think people are going to, you know, what's going to be the most reviewed version? Or what are the versions that they're going to refer to? And it didn't hit me at first until I did some research. I pulled it up because I was like, well, maybe what they'll do is they'll review it, but they'll say, you know, oh, and by the way, the PlayStation 5 Pro upgrades will be this and that. But then I went back to last year to see what they did. And no, this is what motherfuckers did. When the PlayStation 4 Pro dropped, they just started getting PlayStation 4 versions and reviewed them on the Pro. That's what reviewers started doing. That, my friends, is like a de facto marketing deal. Because if every time me as a casual, I look on IGN, and as a reviewer, I'm going to want the prettiest version. You think it's bad now for Xbox reviews? It's like 2-1 now. It's gonna be like 9-1. Well, it ain't gonna be that, but you're gonna see scenarios where a AAA game, a heavily sought after AAA game, might have 150 PlayStation reviews, and it'll have like 13 Xbox reviews and shit. That's like a de facto marketing deal for anybody that logs on to IGN. And then if they do what they did last generation, oh yeah, Susie Q played this on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Oh my God. Like, what are we talking about here? It's a wrap. So Xbox guys, keep talking about Concord. Leave this one alone. Stay out of this one. Because I don't know how you laugh at a mid-gen refresh where you motherfuckers are being sold a $600 plus console. Bro! With no upgrades except God. More memory, except more SSD.
No, boss, I was laughing from this goddamn Dr. Killshot. Goddamn, I'm gonna ban your ass.
What do you say? He said, hey, yo, hold on, let me pull it. He says, hey, yo, MM2K, the doctor's in the house. What it do? What's up, Cold Blood, my German chocolate brother? Like, what are we going to do here? Cold Blood brought up a great point, man. That's like a de facto marketing deal. Cold Blood, what are they going to do?
I guess, like I said, probably even Xbox Era is gonna review a game on the Pro and tell you how great it is on Xbox.
Yeah, I picked up my Pro copy and I played it all day and all fucking night.
No. That score is still gonna go for the Xbox version because they're gonna make it like they reviewed it on Xbox.
Hey yo, hey, like there's gonna be 145 out of 150 Indiana Jones reviews is gonna be on the PlayStation 5 Pro and shit. Like they ain't even gonna do it day one on the Xbox and shit. They're gonna wait till it comes out on the Pro. Bro, this is going to be this could be potentially bad for Xbox, and there is no way around it. Shout out to the 55 out there that's watching. Do it, or 58. Do us a huge favor, man. Hit that like button, please. It helps us in the algorithm. YouTube is doing all types of goofy shit to us. We have videos, Cold Blood and I. We're in the background. We play different videos and stuff like that. So you got scammy motherfuckers that are trying to claim Helldivers 2. I was sitting there right before we went live, disputing a whole bunch of claims, copyright claims on our videos. What the fuck? And here, some motherfucker tried to claim the Helldivers 2 footage, and I was like, it was like in Mexican. I was like, what the, huh? Nah. Like, we're not doing that. And it's like, YouTube, you got to do better. Like it was in. No, this is not what we want to see. But they do this to the smaller channels.
Yeah. Shout out the chat, bro.
Yeah, shout out to the chat. What's up, MM2K? Says Soldier for Life 504. Helldivers 2 has 50,000 players right now. Yeah, 50,000 plus. Can't beat that. Can't beat that with a stick right now for them. I mean, we'll see how long it lasts. I don't know. I'll give it a shot too when I get a chance. I'll see what it's like. El Pachi says PlayStation 5 Pro day one for me. Absolutely. Well, I mean, not for me, but absolutely for you guys that, you know, maybe it'll get there. Internet of Games says, "Oh, you on Threads, Cold Blood?" I don't think Cold Blood's on Threads. I don't think.
No.
I don't think you ain't gonna see Cold. Helldivers 2 is good for what it is. Exactly. It's good for what it is. Thank you, Bender of Strings, for becoming a subscriber. We appreciate it, my friend. But yeah, I just find it comical. All right. So here we go.
Bend off strings. That's an interesting thing.
A lot of these motherfuckers, they got some cool, crazy names. I've seen a lot of crazy names out here. All right. So here is something I want to show you guys from earlier today. This is why we labeled the show what we labeled it today. We are exposing the Digital Foundry video. Now, you have a lot of people out here that are talking about, what do you call it? They're saying, oh, the Digital Foundry is saying that there's no need for a PlayStation 5 Pro. That's not what Digital Foundry in unison is saying. That's what Alex, the PC fanboy, is saying. Now, you had Richard talk about, you know, he gave his 2 cents and leaned more towards PC. But Oliver, who definitively is a console guy, gives his take. So, I bet you, if John Linneman was on there too, he would, you know, give a take that would differ from Alex. So no, this is not Digital Foundry saying this. People are trying to take this out of context to make it to make up an agenda. And instead of hearing from Alex, who is a clear-cut PC fanboy, who has something against consoles and particularly PlayStation, because Cold Blood made me aware that first he came on talking about, hey, you know, I love Xbox and the Xbox games, and then all of a sudden when that didn't pan out the way that everybody thought it was going to pan out right, now all of a sudden they're PC dudes. You know what I'm saying? So there's all this ire in regards to PlayStation. I want you to hear what Oliver has to say, a console guy that's talking to other console gamers about a niche console product. So I'm going to pause the music. We're going to listen to it, and then we're going to talk about it on the back end. Here it goes.
Probably don't want the PC, or at least to the extent you do want a PC, you want them for different experiences. If you want a living room experience, then I don't think the PC at the moment is a very good choice. And I think you'd probably be fine taking a bit of a hit on performance to get a more reliable and usable gaming experience in the home setting. But the PS5 Pro just comes in and makes that substantially less of a compromise than it has been for the last few years. Like for me personally, I've been gaming on consoles primarily for a very long time. I will for sure be getting one because I play a lot of PS5 games. And I have a very expensive PC, but I'll for sure play PS5 Pro more in all likelihood. So I don't think the market is quite the same. But I do think that, you know, a comparable PC with new components, it's probably going to be hundreds of dollars more at least. This is still a good deal, I think, if you evaluate it on the terms of like, this is a gaming device that you're going to be playing a lot of, then I think it's a good value.
Here you go. Okay, so Digital Foundry didn't all say, like, really it was Alex that said it wasn't worth it to him. John Linneman said that he feels like you would get better performance out of investing into a PC. And I don't think nobody disagrees with that, but you know, but you're going to invest significantly more, as Oliver points out. And he also points out that based off of the information that we have right now, that, let's be honest, is all vapor. None of it is confirmed, concrete. We don't know what footage PlayStation put out there for its presentation. We don't know how old it is. We don't know what the pixel base is. We don't know none of that right now. We just know Digital Foundry analyzed these videos to the best of their ability. These are the numbers that they came up with. With that being said, as Oliver points out, for your living room experience, PC ain't going to cut it for most gamers. For the plug and play experience, it's not going to cut it for them. And for the price that they're asking for, you need a significantly more expensive PC, you know what I'm saying, for that performance. And you're getting significantly better performance based off their analysis from the base. It's all evident throughout that video. You listen to Alex. He's a PC fanboy. That's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it. My son's a PC fanboy. I didn't disown him, not yet. But he's a PC fanboy, and he's like, well, the resolution decrease looks like this, looks like that. And Oliver follows him up and he clarifies, well, this could be that or that, this or the other. And we don't know what mode we're looking at. Very interesting. I think what people need to stop doing is just taking their cues directly from vertical slices on X or Twitter, and then go watch the video yourself. Just leave it on in the background. Do what you're doing. Go wash your dishes, clean your car, clean the garage, whatever the fuck you're doing, and just have it playing in the background. I was at my place of business last night, and I just had it running while I was doing shit around there, and I'm like, oh, this thing has been completely taken out of context. Imagine that. So here's my thoughts. I'll turn it over to Cold Blood, and then we can get ready for our game stream today. In my opinion, even though I am leery about the price versus what we've been told from PlayStation, I don't want to hear this shit from Digital Foundry. I want to hear it from PlayStation. That's going to, decide me over or not. But besides my apprehension there, I know what this product is. This is a niche product for a niche sector of the PlayStation gaming community that they can simply approach and say, hey, look, we know that there's a lot of you out there with disposable income that simply want better. You're already enjoying the PlayStation 5 and I come to you and I say, hey, look, you're already enjoying that. But what if I can make that better for you? You can make it better? Yeah, we're going to add this and that and that. Oh, that's the shit. Yeah, I'll be willing to upgrade for that. So they trade in, they upgrade, they pay the extra dollars. The gamer is happy because now he got an even better experience. PlayStation is happy because now with higher margins, they were able to sell another product. That's part one of this. Part two of this, if you think about it, makes even more sense. But people in the gaming community have a hard time critically thinking. That's why the same motherfuckers that are talking shit now, they act like they don't understand what this product is for, or the same motherfuckers that told you, oh no, Satya and Tim Stewart were just talking about ABK, right? The same stupidity, buffoonery that you heard before. Here's part two of this that brings it home even more. I'm a PlayStation gamer. Now, regardless if I misunderstood what these consoles were capable of, or I heard it from somebody else, I was expecting more 4K 60 out of the third-party games. PlayStation games, for the most part, are doing good, and they're doing a way better job of giving you good performance modes, and I'm talking about their first-party games, than Xbox is, than their competition is, right? But you still want more. out of your third-party games and some of the second-party games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You would like to see better performance. So you're probably sitting there like, you know what? I got disposable income. I love my PlayStation. It's still going to be my number one way to play for PlayStation exclusives. There's no fucking way I'm going to wait to play these excellent PlayStation exclusives. But you know what? Maybe these third-party games I'm going to start getting on PC. Let me upgrade my PC. And so when Warhammer or the next Cyberpunk or whatever comes out, maybe I'll just get it on PC because I was expecting more from these base consoles. And what PlayStation effectively did is say, whoa. Hold on, motherfucker. They walked up to that person with the trench coat on. And said, psst. Open that motherfucker up. And there's PlayStation 5 Pros dangling on each side of the trench coat. Before you go there, that performance that you was expecting out of the base, okay, you didn't get it, but now we got you. The technology wasn't there yet, but now we got you. We got this thing called the PlayStation 5 Pro. Look, all you got to do is just pay $700. You don't got to worry about upgrading or building a PC. You're going to get that performance that you were expecting out of the base console. Or just simply trade in your other console and just pay an extra, whatever the difference is. And then that console gamer was probably saying, oh shit, okay, yeah, because I'd rather just stay on PlayStation, but I do want better performance. Great solution, PlayStation, thank you. And that is PlayStation protecting its margins and protecting its revenue. Why? Because if that gamer actually does, now again, to be clear, I'm not saying that there's going to be a lot of gamers that feel this way. Out of the 20% that this is marketed for, maybe 5 or maybe 30% out of that 20 would be willing to, do their multi-plats on PC. So this is PlayStation protecting and ensuring that move doesn't happen. Instead of spending your $700 there, spend it with us and stay over here at our marketplace. Well, how does that help PlayStation? Because if you go over there and you start buying your multi-plats there, that's where PlayStation makes most of its money. It's on multi-plats. Anybody that pays attention knows that. That's how the game is won. You use the exclusives to bring people over to your marketplace for the multi-plats, because that's where most of the money is at. So you're going to lose that 30% on all their multi-plat purchases, all the DLC, all the, microtransactions. You'll lose that to Steam if they go over there. So you throw this $700 product out there that'll keep them on PlayStation. That's the only way the PC component should be talked about here, is you do have a small subsect within that small subsect that's entertaining. Yeah, you know what? Want a better performance. Yeah, I feel like that I could have got better performance out of Dragon's Dogma. The Dragon's Dogma version on PlayStation 5 is trash. I'd rather play it on PC now. Let me go over to PC. Hold on, motherfucker. Huh, what's that? Mark Cerny? Why are you in a trench coat? Check this out. Mark Cerny, are you flashing me? No. Don't pay no attention to the fact that I'm naked. Just look at each side of this trench coat. I got this is called the PlayStation 5 Pro. There you go. It's basic common sense. But all of these doofists and these goofball ass content creators that you guys listen to, all they know how to do is argue within the first 5 minutes of now, and they don't make any sense. That's my long-winded version. I'm gonna turn it over to Cold Blood, but I want to shout out Sir Gabby, who became a member at Foamy Homie. You're gonna get some great content. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. And you're bringing us closer to our member goal, which is 10. If we can reach 10 by the end of the week, you guys will force me into a suffer stream where I got to play some tinky winky bullshit, and you guys get to hear me rage about having to play it. And then we also have a bi-weekly members goal, and we have a monthly goal too. So thank you very much for that membership. All right. So that's my long-winded version, Cold Blood. what do you think about that part from Oliver and the entire discourse right now around the PlayStation 5 Pro?
So how I see it right now is motherfucker is fucking expensive.
Yeah.
No, nobody should argue that. Like, goddamn, a console being anywhere near $700 is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And the PS5 Pro has two chances to really make me a believer in that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And it's the state of play that is coming.
Yeah.
And the TGS. You got two chances right now to fucking November to show me what the Pro can do. What fucking games am I gonna play on that shit? Besides the same games I'm already playing.
Yeah.
They better have a whole video just dedicated to showing the fucking difference. Mm-hmm. Like that will be the best fucking marketing for this console right now.
Yeah.
And no compressed bullshit, nothing. Make it so that people can actually download the fucking direct video of it. Mm-hmm. If they can do that, bro, we're gonna see what Digital Foundry has to say then.
Exactly.
With the analysis.
Yep. And that would be the perfect way, Cold Blood, to shut them up. This could be they could have put that footage out there as bait. Let Digital Foundry get all creamy knuckled and Alex do all his hating shit, and then come out and say and completely destroy their analysis. I hope that's what they do. Because I think Digital Foundry has too much sway in our decision-making process. I do appreciate their analysis because you do. I appreciate their analysis after the fact. Because you do have these companies running slogans like the world's most powerful console, right? And if I essentially got to pay $100 more, but you're splitting hairs with a PlayStation 4 digital, I think that's bullshit. And I think you should be called out on it. So I do appreciate that. But every single, this is 1142 pixels, not 1145. This is a no. And then you got PC fanboys talking to console gamers like, no, absolutely not. And I don't have to agree with Oliver's assessment, Cold Blood. We don't have to agree with it. Like, he's day one. I don't think me and you are at the state where we're like, this is day one for us, right? But, or not yet. We're not there. But,
bro, I mean, can Digital Foundry really say day one when they're literally reviewing these fucking consoles? Of course they're gonna be day one.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're gonna
by fucking default. Those motherfuckers belong to IGN now. Yeah. So hey, they're definitely gonna have a PS5 Pro.
Yeah. They're day zero, really.
No, day fucking minus 14 or something.
Yeah. But the conversation is just bad. It's not, and I really hate talking about the Pro as much as we have been. This is why we've kind of split up our week, guys, and we're about to go get into some Space Marine. We love to see a lot of you out here, and hopefully you'll join us for a game stream. But this is why we split up our week like this, because the problem is that there's too much dumb discussion out here. Like Cold Blood said, number one, let's just get it out of the way. You cannot argue. Now, if you're willing to pay it, that's fine. But you can't argue that this price is fucking ballsy as fuck. And they haven't shown us what substantiates this price at this point. I mean, if you're willing to pay it, that's fine. Shit, a lot of you that say that, if this motherfucker could be $1,100 and you'd be willing to pay it. Whatever, you do what you want with your money, but we're saying for the general demographic that it's aimed for, even for them, $700 was like, yeah, whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck? Right? With that said, let's not confuse who this is for. This is not for casual gamers. This is not even to lure PC gamers. This is specifically for a subsect of PlayStation 5 owners to either just simply give them more because they're willing to pay for more because more was not available at launch, or more would have been way more expensive at launch, or to simply protect their margins and eliminate any crossover where you get some people. And I know from experience, because I did this with the Xbox One X, and it was, the Xbox One X, remember we were promised true 4K and 60. And then so fucking Anthem comes out and I'm thinking I'm gonna be playing all these games in 60 frames per second. Wrong. In the words of the late great Charlie Murphy, wrong. So a bunch of us got together, was like, fuck that, man, we gonna start building our PCs. So I stopped buying shit on Xbox and I started building me up a PC to play Anthem. Now, Anthem ended up being dog shit, but that's here nor there. It's just like I wanted to play the game. PlayStation is trying to avert that. They are very keen. They pay very close attention. Even though they're not the ones that set that expectation, the expectation is set. Perception is 9/10 of the law. Gamers wanted more 4K 60. Now, your average casual gamer is just throwing up their hands and go, oh, phooey, we're not really getting it as clear or as much as we probably wanted it. Oh, well, they're saying that. And they're just going to continue to game on their devices. But those with more disposable income might actually say, well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my PlayStation. I'm going to get my PlayStation games on my PlayStation, because let's be honest, the PlayStation first party games are really on a problem. Like, I don't need a Pro for them. It's the second party games and definitely the third party games. So, you could have some people that'll say, well, you know what, for my third party games, I'm gonna get a PC. I'm gonna build a PC. I'm gonna play Dragon's Dogma over there. I'm gonna play this one over there and play that one over there. I'm gonna play Wukong over there instead of on PlayStation. Because these developers, or whatever the reason is, I was expecting more. PlayStation's like, hold on now. We got you. And it's a smart move. So whether you believe the price tag or not makes sense, you cannot deny the genius in the marketing move, especially now, right before a lot of these games are going to go to switch over to Unreal Engine 5. And if you're an Xbox gamer and you're like, we made the right decision, huh? Your solution to the Unreal Engine 5 thing was, we're going to sell more Series S's than Series X's. And then what we're going to do is turn the Series S into a streaming box. What? Scooby-Doo? What? Where's the streaming box? Huh? Yeah, okay. PlayStation solution was, look, we're going to do a better job at it, but for those that are still disappointed, that might spill over somewhere else, we're going to have a solution for them. It's going to be called the Pro. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our solution that's going to rely heavy on AI and machine learning to help power our next device. And if you guys don't understand how this is big for PSSR, I want to say this. In Digital Foundry's analysis, they are assuming, again, because we're all assuming about all this, that PSSR isn't as good as DLSS, but it's better than FSR. This is at its launch or even prior to launch. This is AI and machine learning, so it's only going to get better. What does that mean? Let me give you a prime example. Stadia, when it launched, it was, or when it went into beta, it could only do 1080p. 60. Remember when they gave you a free copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey to play for like 3 or 4 months or whatever? And I think 25,000 people signed up for that. After those 25,000 people gave the trainer AI and the machine learning, that's what helped Stadia go to 4K. Now, granted, Stadia is no longer here. That's due to poor mismanagement, bullshit in the media, whatever. I'm not even going to go there. But PlayStation is not Stadia or Google. And the thing about PSSR is that they're going to have more than 25,000 motherfuckers training this at launch. So can you imagine if they do hit their margins that they're looking to hit, about 20%, that's roughly around 12 million. If they got 12 million people training that PSSR for years and years and years, not 25,000 people training it for months, over 10 million people training it for years. Do you know how fucking bad PSSR is going to be by the time the PlayStation 6 rolls around? And for everybody that's on the Xbox side that are laughing at this, oh, we made the right decision. Where's your solution? Where's your solution? I want to hear it. Let me see you do it. I want to hear it. So you got to understand these buffoons that are out here in the gaming community talking this dumb shit, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're taking the Digital Foundry video out of context. They're taking things said by a PC fanboy of the Digital Foundry group and spreading it across all of Digital Foundry when that's not accurate. And then they're taking out of context who this product is for. This product is not to pull people away from PC. Shout out to Timothy Allen for becoming a subscriber. It's not for that. It is to, again, sell and increase the margins with a consumer base that's already dedicated to PlayStation by offering them more so they get more. But more importantly, protect those same margins and protect any spillage or overage from anybody that might say, you know what, I want more. I'm gonna go to PC for my third-party game. No, says Mark Cerny. So we can argue over the price. I think that's a legitimate argument. I'm still making it. But let's not go into the weeds and make this product something that it ain't, because you motherfuckers are too stupid to understand the thesis of this discussion and to talk about this appropriately. And that's basically what it is.
Mouse. I think Phil Spencer isn't playing with True Virgil anymore on Xbox. He's back.
True Virgil is back. He said, lying again, bandit.
and the chat immediately said, "Fuck you."
Hey, don't kick out his teeth. He need that. He needs that to eat his Xbox toast out of his Xbox toaster. Don't kick his teeth out. True Virgil. What do you know about finance, Moss? I used to sell phone books in the 90s. Oh man, True Virgil's he's a true comedian. I love True Virgil, man. Yeah. But that's the thing, y'all, is that don't fall for their bullshit. And if you noticed in the video that I highlighted before we get out of here, if y'all notice, you see this video at the bottom? Because a lot of you didn't see that video yesterday. Check out that video. It's a video we did yesterday because we're going to be doing this all week where we're going to do like a precursor up to our game stream. Because we're not going to sit here for 2 or 3 hours talking about PlayStation 5 Pro and how dumb the community is. It is what it is. I'll say what I'll say during the member stream. We'll come in here before we get into a game stream. I'll talk my shit. And then we're going to play some games. We're going to do what they're not doing. We're going to play some fucking games. But check out this video. Gamers argue base resolution on the PlayStation 5 Pro. There's other details that we give there. I want to do this. I want to put this stream that we're about to go to.
But you didn't talk about Alex.
I talked about Alex being a fanboy and how he was, and he admitted he was salty at the end of that video. He was like, yeah, I'm being, what did he say? I was agitated. I can't remember what he said at the end of that video. I'm a little agitated. What are your thoughts on, better yet, what are your thoughts on Alex?
Man, do I really have to repeat myself from the damn member stream?
Well, yeah, I mean, just give us a little bit. Yeah, if they want the full context, then yeah, you join up as a member, like Sir Gabby did. Join up as a member, you'll get the full content. But just give them a little snippet.
Well, jealousy is killing him right now. Yeah. Because all the attention is on this console and not on his $5,000 PC at home. That's the short version of it. Like, bro, ain't nobody excited about the 5090, 5080 and stuff. Everybody is excited about a fucking mid-gen refresh. Yes. That's what makes you so fucking agitated, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
And that Oliver is loving it. You hate it, bro. Yeah. I can see right through his fucking eyes. He hates it. That Oliver loves it right now. That he can talk about consoles, bro.
Look at his expression. I'm gonna put it up on the screen for everybody. I noticed this. Look at his expression. I wish I could zoom in even more. Look at his expression while he's talking.
From a different angle, which is
let me mute this. Look at bro's expression while Oliver is talking. Yeah, Oliver is more popular. I like Oliver. He's sensible. Like, you can disagree with him, but he can do it without being disagreeable. Like, it, I got it. Look at him. Look at this motherfucker. Look at him. Richard's like, yeah, Oliver, that makes sense. Look at this motherfucker. Look. Look at he turned red. Look at him. Like a red bell pepper. He's mad. He's mad at a motherfucker. Look at Oliver just smiling and shit. Yes, I'm going to sit. I'm going to tantalize you with my voice, with my good technical voice. And Alex like, I sound like a crabby porcupine. Look at him. He's mad. Look at him. Oh, look at him, bruh. He's salty as shit. Yeah.
Bro, can you make it a little bit more zoomed in?
I wish I could. Hold on, let me see here. No, it won't let me do it. Fuck. Yeah. I wish I could. Let me just go to let's see if I can go to the video real quick and then we're gonna get out of here. Yeah. He's salty as fuck, bro. Oh shit. Why did it do that? All right. Digital. Oh, here it goes, right here. Damn, I'm right there too. Okay. What is wrong? Why? Oh shit. Hold on. I might have too many things happening at once. Buffering. Hold on. Let me fix something. Oh shit. Might have too many things up at once. Okay, there we go. Let me see what else we got here. What else can I close out? Close out some shit here. Yeah. He's mad as fuck. Oh,
where's
shit,
the other dude actually?
John,
yeah,
John Lenneman. I don't know. I think he just wanted to get to. He probably just didn't call him up. Richard probably didn't call him up for this video. All right, here he goes. Come on.
We can hear it.
Oh, you guys want to hear it? Okay. I was just trying to get to the part where he. Let's do it.
You, or at least to the extent you do want a PC, you want them for different experiences. If you want a living room experience, then I don't think the PC at the moment is a very good choice. And I think you'd probably be fine taking a bit of a hit on performance to get a more reliable and usable gaming experience in the home setting. But the PS5 Pro just comes in and makes that substantially less of a compromise than it has been for the last few years. Like for me personally, I've been gaming on consoles primarily for a very long time. I'll for sure be getting one because I play a lot of PS5 games.
Oliver's like, yeah, I'm pissing this motherfucker off.
PC, but I'll for sure play PS5 Pro more in all likelihood. So I don't think the market is quite the same. But I do think that, you know, a comparable PC with new components is probably going to be hundreds of dollars more at least. This is still a good deal, I think, if you evaluate it on the terms of like this is a gaming device that you'll be playing a lot of.
Red. Look at his face.
I think it's a
look at his face and look at his neck. He's bloodshot red. Dude is steaming.
And yeah, this is priced for people who have
a little
bit more of a willingness to spend money on a gaming console, and they're less price sensitive. And I think that ultimately what Sony's trying to do is they're trying to find the peak of where they can price these consoles, because certainly if you look back at what Apple was doing a number of years ago, you know, back then an iPhone cost like $200 subsidized. Now they cost like $2,000 unsubsidized. And it just so happened that everyone in the cell phone market just thought that the most you could sell a cell phone for before people got sticker shock and fainted was like $300. But then they found out, no, we can actually sell these things for much higher prices, because guess what? People use their phones all day. So for people to use their consoles for 10 hours or 20 hours a week, maybe that willingness to pay is actually a little bit higher than the market previously thought people would bear. That's kind of the theory of the case. And I think for a lot of people,
an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, there's kind of like a lot of factors to consider here, and we can only really cover some of them. I mean,
bro. Oh shit. Oh god. God damn. If Contempt had a face.
That last part, bro, where he was like, yeah.
That's an interesting idea, motherfucker. Yeah, he. Oh shit.
Oh, Alex has a bad week, bro.
yeah. He's had a bad week. Yeah, because he came in that motherfucker. He was hot, man. He was hot. He was like, no, he was. You could tell he was like kind of perturbed and pissed off. But he didn't want to come out and say.
Did you see how? No. Did you see how annoyed he was when Oliver was talking the whole time?
Yeah.
He was just itching himself and stuff and trying to look somewhere else and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
Like, look at him. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Look at him. And you can tell he's mad. His blood is rushing to his face. Look at his neck.
It's proliferating now on so many titles.
Look at his neck.
Like, look at his neck. His neck is his regular tone.
At least to the extent you do want a PC, you want.
And then when Oliver starts talking,
living room experience,
his neck is the regular tone, but his face is fucking bloodshot, bro.
And I think you'd probably be
so annoyed,
taking a bit of a hit on performance.
Like, oh my God, Oliver, look at him. Look at his neck. Look at his face. Dude, he's fuming. And him playing with his chin like that, that's a sign. That's like a sign of I'm aggravated, but I'm trying to remain calm. Like, what the fuck is on your chin? Did you lose $30 on that motherfucker? You can't find it? No.
Bro,
look at look at Oliver. Oliver's like, yeah, I pissed this motherfucker off, and he's just smiling away. That's my boy Oliver. That's going to be my next interview is Oliver.
Oh my God.
That would be
yes. Man. That'd be so fucking great, bro.
That would be great.
Like,
I love everybody who came through it.
Right before the pro launch, bro.
Oh
my God.
Yeah. And it's not like RGB shit. Like look at Alex's face, and then you can tell, look at his neck. You can tell that it can, it's not all just hyper toned up color wise. Look at Ollie Mack. He's like, yeah, I pissed this motherfucker off. Shout out to Ollie Mack. Ollie Mack for president. Fuck Trump in here. So Ollie Mack for president. Shit. Man, Ollie Mack. My homie, Ollie Mack. Gotta love it. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Cold Blood, what you want to do, brother? We got a good hour and 20 minutes. You still want to run some Space Marine?
I mean, we can continue at this point.
Okay. That's fine. That's why I said we only got an hour and 20 minutes. Let's continue. All right, so we'll do the stream tomorrow. I'm sorry about that, guys. We're gonna stay here on the channel. Let me fix this. That game stream will be tomorrow. And we'll do it tomorrow around 3.
Chat, thank me later. Yeah, I got an extension.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that are rocking out with us now. Let me just take this time to just introduce you guys to the channel if you're new to the channel. Cold Blood and I, we talk about the latest and greatest in gaming news, but we try to do it from a different perspective from everybody else. We focus more on, giving kudos to those that are, kudos to the platforms that are doing great, to the game developers that are doing great. Don't believe what people may be saying. Oh, these guys are all negative and you guys don't like nothing. No, like we just did a whole section on our last flagship podcast talking about Crimson Desert. You know what I'm saying? Where we're like, God damn, this thing looks fucking awesome. We'll give kudos where we feel like it's deserved. We just recognize and realize, and you may realize that too, there's a lot of bullshit out here that needs to have its feet held to the fire. And we're going to call it out. When it comes to these platforms, we both prefer PlayStation at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But we haven't pledged allegiance to PlayStation. It's just that, look, man, anybody with 2 eyes and a functioning brain, whether you prefer Xbox or not, realize that PlayStation is putting out the product and the service that is more tantalizing to the average gamer, regardless of what your preferences are. Argue with your mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at you if you prefer Xbox. I'm just saying you got to recognize what's happening across the board objectively with the average gamer. And we
actually, Moss, Internet of Games has sent me a video from Wall Street Journal, bro. I sent you on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
We have to watch that.
All right, let's do that. Let's see here. Yeah, because we weren't planning to be here this long. So shout out to the homie. IOG is always coming through in the clutch with this video. Let's react to this video. We're going to put this out here. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Xbox lost the console war. What does it say? Xbox lost the console war. Now it's redefining gaming. They trying. All right, let's react to this video. No, wait. Y'all trying to get here. Let's get out of here because I don't know whose ad this is. And I don't know. It's an Xfinity ad. Okay. All right. Let's go. Here we go.
Series X, Microsoft's most powerful flagship console. For a long time, you needed an Xbox to play games like Halo or Gears of War. Then Microsoft decided you don't. So it launched a monthly subscription service that lets users play the latest games on a bunch of other devices. But it's increasingly competitive and will take a lot of investment to make it work. So will this shift pay off? And what does it mean for the future of the console? This is the economics of Xbox. Today, with more than 30 game studios, Xbox is an industry mainstay.
But it had to really earn that position in the market.
The console war began in the 1970s, when video game companies started competing to create a more powerful console and win more customers. By the 90s, the biggest players were Sony, Nintendo, and Sega. And in 1997, consumer spending on consoles surpassed arcades for the first time. A few years later, Microsoft entered the scene with its first-generation Xbox. To entice customers into their ecosystems, most of these companies tried to keep the prices on their consoles as low as possible, selling them at a loss. Xbox loses up to $200 per console.
Wow.
But the brands made up the difference by selling games and other accessories.
The more consoles you
Oh,
sell,
shit.
the more software you're going to sell with it.
The PlayStation outsold the Xbox every single time. Microsoft only came close to beating Sony with the Xbox 360. Analysts say this was because the PlayStation 3, which ran customers up to $600, was priced too high. But the Xbox lost ground with the next generation, and ultimately, it lost the console war. In 2017, Xbox launched Game Pass, positioning itself as a services brand.
It's more interested in making content available to people on whatever device they choose to play on.
Game Pass is a tiered service. The least expensive plans offer gaming on either console or PC, and the most expensive plan has multi-device gaming and other features like streaming games from the cloud and access to certain games the day they're released. In essence, Microsoft is betting that it can get more customers if they don't have to buy a console. This model also gives the company a recurring revenue stream, so it doesn't have to rely as much on blockbuster successes.
So Game Pass solves the problem on the consumer side by making lots of content available for cheap, and on the business or the supply side in terms of offsetting the financial volatility associated with entertainment.
Microsoft's head of gaming, Phil Spencer, has said Game Pass is profitable.
And I think it will stay in that 10 to 15% of our overall revenue.
But Microsoft isn't the only one stepping into the subscription world. In 2022, Sony merged its subscription services, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, and relaunched it to compete with Game Pass. There are two key things that give Microsoft an edge. First, it's a much larger company with lots and lots of money. And for the past decade, Microsoft has been using that money to acquire game studios, beefing up its library. In 2014, it bought Mojang, the maker of Minecraft, for $2.5 billion. In 2021, it bought ZeniMax Media, owner of Fallout and Doom, for $8.1 billion. And in 2023, it finalized the purchase of Activision Blizzard, the maker of Call of Duty and Candy Crush, for $75.4 billion.
To put it in perspective, that is a little bit less than what Sony makes annually.
Second, as a giant tech company, Microsoft owns lots and lots of data centers, over 300 worldwide, some of which help support Game Pass and cloud gaming.
The incumbents like Nintendo and Sony, they live and die on great content and this magnificent retail distribution infrastructure that they've built. So it's in Microsoft's interest to push into its data centers and its infrastructure in the cloud because it can't beat Sony and Nintendo at retail.
This puts it in an arena that mainly other massive tech companies like Amazon, Nvidia, and Google can really compete in. But there are lots of obstacles. To start, adoption has been slow. In 2020, it targeted 71% subscriber growth and reached 86%. But the following year, it fell short. And in 2022, it missed its target by a long shot.
Some people are just not comfortable with the idea of not actually owning a game. They may want to play a game, put it down for 6 months and pick it up later or a year later or more. And it may not be in the subscription service anymore after that time.
So as of 2024, Game Pass has amassed 34 million subscribers. Some of the biggest challenges are specific to cloud gaming, a feature included in Game Pass's top tier. Traditionally, game data was stored locally on cartridges, discs, or downloaded straight to the console. With online multiplayer games, data like each player's actions were streamed. But with cloud gaming, the entire game is streamed to your device, which can be laggy.
If it's a competitive game, a millisecond can mean the difference between winning and losing.
Cloud gaming is also expensive to operate.
The economics have changed, but they haven't immediately changed to only run a profit. Both of those offerings, whether those are product-based and conventional or whether they are streaming and more digital, both of those run at a loss in principle, but to recuperate and to earn money in those contexts is a very different proposition.
One report found that just 6% of gamers around the world were subscribed to a cloud gaming service in 2023. Still, experts believe it will grow substantially.
Cloud gaming is one of those few components where they could possibly thrive and lead, even if that's a much more modestly sized industry.
Microsoft isn't getting rid of the Xbox anytime soon. Later this year, it will release new versions of its current generation, the Series X and S. But it's clear that Xbox views its content as the future of the company. Not its hardware.
It is incredibly difficult for these large companies, in spite of their resources, to be agile and innovative. And so, they're always watching someone else just run the show. And so in many ways, you could make the argument that the current effort and investment towards Game Pass and xCloud and all of the things that they're building and acquiring goes towards perhaps finally being in the driver's seat for the first time,
giving it the chance to win whatever the new gaming war will be.
Interesting. Interesting video. Thank you, IOG, for that. Appreciate it. Thank you for that, IOG. Appreciate it. Very interesting video. What are your thoughts? What does that tell you about Microsoft's strategy, Cold Blood, in your opinion?
It's absolutely failing.
Yeah.
Like, bro, they said they have lots of money and they don't do shit with it.
Yeah. Yep. Totally agree. They don't do anything fruitful with it at all. Nothing worthwhile. Nothing that moves the margins or anything like that. That's why I said I don't understand why people that are fans of other platforms are laughing at the PlayStation 5 Pro. Again, we're all in unison saying that price does make you gasp, but they're saying the overall existence of the Pro doesn't make sense. No, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to break it down again. I broke it down several times over, but here's something else that I want to show you. And again, I learned so much in my time being a cloud gamer because it helps me look into the future of what gaming will be. The question is when. There were a lot of my cloud gaming comrades who believed that cloud gaming not only would dominate, not only would be a mainstream thing, but they thought it would dominate in like 5 years. And I'm like, where are you guys getting this from? Because the investors that are investing in this and are studying it, they're not saying it. This is something that I've been telling people since 2020. That a lot of my cloud gaming colleagues didn't want to digest, didn't want to believe. This is something that came out in 2019. This is while cloud gaming currently is a minuscule part of the video gaming industry, its scope could be huge. Today, video gaming engages around 2.8 billion people globally, and this number is expected to exceed 3 billion by 2023. Over time, the number of gamers and the amount of time spent playing and watching video games has increased. Here goes the big important number. In 2021, the total video games industry is projected to reach 189 billion in revenues. According to another estimate, it's going to reach 257 billion by 2025. Now listen to this. It is estimated that cloud gaming revenues will exceed 1 billion in 2021. So that's 1 billion out of 189 billion. And then they're saying in 2027, it's going to reach 7.2 billion, which that's even this projected 2025 figure has gaming at 256. Do you see? And so they're like, this is going to be less than 3% of the overall gaming economy. Now, the plus of cloud gaming is it is growing a little bit more rapidly than these estimates, but only a little bit. Like you just heard in the Wall Street Journal piece, they said that they estimate that 6% of the gamers have a cloud gaming. They're in the cloud gaming. Okay, but that's 6%, right? And these are forecasts that were made in 2019, going all the way up to 2027. They weren't surpassing 5%. We're a long way off. Again, if you're in the cloud gaming space, this is going to be a long haul, but you can appreciate the technology and ride it for what it is and, watch the technology grow. but to center your business around this. And this is what I think, in part, what Amy Hood was talking about when she was telling Phil Spencer and company reportedly, don't build a golden toilet. It's just a toilet right now. It's not a sanctuary. Let's be careful with this. Yes, we want cloud everywhere in every part of Microsoft, but its impact on gaming is minuscule at the moment. This is from NASDAQ. This ain't Billy Bob in them. This is NASDAQ. So I totally believe in the cloud gaming thing, but even I, as a cloud gamer, realize this is going, it's going to take time. We're like 10 plus years off before this thing might even see double digits. Because what has to happen is the gaming community has to trust this. And we got to keep it real. When Stadia died, a lot of that trust died with it. They were like, see what we're talking about? Fuck out of here. Nah. Now you got places like GeForce Now that are like, look, in worst case scenario, if you subscribe to us, you're not losing access to your games per se. You're just losing a way to interact with them in the cloud. I think that's the way you have to ride that, as far as slowly but surely picking off people from the mainstream until that trust grows back. And once that trust grows back and they see you around for a while, you know what I'm saying? Then you can really, jolt things forward. And I'm not saying don't increase the technology, don't do things. Like I've had conversations with NVIDIA about GeForce Now. And they're like, there are things that people are doing with our APIs that are really impressive. So you'll see, but it's a ways off. That doesn't mean that it's not important. We're watching something grow here. We're at the beginning end of something that's going to be important down the road. But right now, it's a minuscule part of gaming. So to put all that, and here's my thing. Let's just say if you're saying, look, we know that the overall industry is only going to grow and be 6% by 2027, but we got something special that can make it grow more rapidly. Check this out. And let's just say if you're able to give motherfuckers 8K 120, you know what I'm saying? Ultra settings. You're willing to do it at $4.99 a month, and motherfuckers get 20 free games. You know what I mean? You go all outrageous, and you're really like blowing consumers' minds with all this consumer friendly stuff, right? Then I could understand you saying, you know what? We are going to build a golden toilet, because our golden toilet's going to be the shit. It's going to, make French fries and cut up ham sandwiches on the side, and people are going to love this toilet. They're not going to want to leave it. But that's not what Xbox did. Xbox didn't even make it golden. There's no gold on that motherfucker. Just rust. Every time outside of the core cloud community, every time Microsoft has propositioned the mainstream with xCloud, they have disappointed them profoundly. It first started when xCloud released. Remember when Karim Chaudhry showed it on TV and it was all that drift and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? It didn't look right. It didn't even look like that they was actually playing it. Remember when he showed it at XO19, or he showed it at some presentation, and it didn't look impressive at all. That was the first time. The second time is when they upgraded the servers to Xbox Series X server blades. I remember the entire gaming community was like, oh shit, Microsoft done upgraded the server blades to Series X. I remember I had people in the cloud community, CMM, you was talking all that shit on Microsoft. They're going to change the game. Said, okay. You watch and see. And people went and played xCloud, And all you heard was trash, trash, trash. Fuck that water. Trash, 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 trash. That's all you heard. And people were like, you know what? This cloud gaming thing is for the birds. And they went back to their platform. And then the last and final time is with Xbox on Fire TV. Xbox said, we don't have to sell you a console. And we've struck this phenomenal deal with Amazon. We're now on Fire TV. You had Post Up. Remember Post Up came, oh my God. Had to put down my pork rind and send off this tweet. Xbox gate checkmate. Game over. Yeah, game over. For who? People went, booted up their Fire TVs, played it again. You heard Doc Dark's video. Now, Doc Dark says a lot of shit about PlayStation. He calls PlayStation trash and everything. That's our homie. I think he may have fell and hit his head a little bit. That's the homie, though. We love Doc. But Doc Dark is not placating to the PlayStation audience at all. He came out and said, this shit is trash. This shit is trash. Everybody agrees, like, yeah, I tried it, it's trash. And they went about their business. Every time Xbox approaches the mainstream gamer, they heavily disappoint them. So I don't know why Xbox thinks they're going to buck the industry trends with xCloud. They're not doing anything with xCloud that really outperforms their competition. They have more games than Amazon Luna. Okay. But you got GeForce Now that can give you 4K 120 Ultra. You got Boosteroid just 2 or 3 days ago launched their 4K service in the States. Boosteroid? Out of war-torn Ukraine. Shout out to Boosteroid. Boosteroid, out of war-torn Ukraine. They launched their 4K service. Xbox still can't do 1440p on the cloud. Y'all are laughing at the PlayStation 5 Pro? Y'all needed a mid-gen refresh. Or that stream box or something. Y'all need something. Y'all need something cataclysmic. Y'all need something groundbreaking. Everybody's talking about this handheld. Y'all need something. Hold on one second. Hold on. Mrs. MM2K almost whooped my ass. Sorry about that, y'all. I locked her out. Chariot man. So let's go to the chat. Because a lot of y'all think I'm just hating on Xbox, right? Like y'all think that's what's going on. I'm just hating on Xbox. No, here's the thing. For a lot of you that are new here to the platform, and again, hit that like button. I have a history with Xbox as far as me being a consumer, me actually advocating for Xbox on this channel under the new regime with Phil Spencer realizing that Xbox was making empty promises and fleecing its consumers based on those promises to stay afloat and then do a switcheroonie on them. And I get it. There's a subsect of consumers that are actually fine with what Xbox is doing. If you like it, fine. There's nothing wrong with what you like. What you like. My job is not to convince you to not like Xbox. My job is to show you how to get where you're going. And say, for instance, you got two paths, one that goes one way and one that goes to another way. And in front of each path, you have a PlayStation person standing there, a PlayStation representative, and an Xbox representative standing at the other path. And say you're like, okay, see the fork in the road with these two people standing here. I'm trying to go to the beach. And say access to the beach is through the path where the PlayStation person is standing at. They're like, oh, you go up this way if you want to get to the beach. Say where the Xbox person is standing at, it's the woods. There's no beach. There's nothing but wooded area. Oh. I go up that way and the Xbox person is like, no. You can go up this way too and get to the beach. And it's like, no, the fuck they can't. If you are looking for genre defining, AAA gaming, top notch, quality, a design towards performance, and a platform that respects the console gamer, regardless of where else they're trying to expand to, then you go up the path with PlayStation. If you're looking for a slew of games that you can play at a cheap price, you're not worried about quote unquote objective quality or anything like that. You want to be able to play your games everywhere. You have your credentials on PC, Xbox, Fire TV, whatever the case may be. And that's just basically what you want to do. Okay, then you can, you go up Xbox's lane. But here's the problem. Where Xbox is standing in front of, it used to be a beach too. But they changed their mind. Nah, we'd rather have a forest. We put our money in it being a forest. We feel like there's more hikers out there than there are people that want to go to a beachfront. And their calculation was wrong. But they're still trying to convince you that a beach is there. So of course, I went up that way, got bamboozled, had to come all the way back and then go up the trail where PlayStation is at to get to the beach. So on my way back, I'm just simply telling people, don't believe these motherfuckers. If you are looking for the beach, this is where you have to go. Do not go up that way. Not discrediting the woods. If you want to go hiking in the woods or fight off bears and shit like that, that's fine. Eat mealworms and shit, that's fine. Then go up that way. But for all of us that are trying to go to the beach, you're being lied to by Microsoft. That's basically what it is that we're trying to tell you. Microsoft has made, now again, if you're looking for the woods and Microsoft's like, look, here's the woods. the mealworms. You get to slap box a beer and fight for your life. Go up there. It's catered for you. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that Microsoft is doing you wrong. They have now catered their business for you. But what they're doing is they're doing a lot of habuki marketing and science and shit like that to try to convince people that they got a beachfront up there too, and they don't. They're converting from it. They made a gamble, and they, instead of focusing on quality AAA console gaming, they decided to base their business on volume gaming through a subscription. They made that bet, they doubled down on it, and didn't focus on quality, didn't build a staff that focused on quality, and their game plan has totally fizzled. And they have utterly failed. The only thing that has saved them is ABK. For the moment. That's essentially what you're getting with Xbox. A lot of you, I was telling y'all this for years, and you guys argued me down. Instead of looking at my history, looking at my videos, seeing how did this guy get here? And I get it, because your other host here, Cold Blood, he was telling me for years the same thing. And I was like, that dude's just a fanboy. He's a hater. He's a fanboy. And it wasn't that. It was like, look, yeah, I may not like Xbox, but I can clearly see what they're doing. You can't see what they're doing because you're living off this nostalgia. But I never was a PlayStation. I hated PlayStation. I've only converted to PlayStation after seeing that, hey, this is where I got to go for quality. While PlayStation kept evolving, Xbox was devolving. When it comes to AAA genre defining gaming. To be fair, if you like the value proposition game anywhere at any time, quality is not your thing. You know, you just want to experience a bunch of games, and you're more of a buffet style type of gamer. There you go. Xbox is for you. But that's not what they were presenting themselves as. They were presenting themselves as, we're using a buffet style business model to give you quality meals. So instead of you getting a bunch of sesame chicken and stuff that all tastes like cauliflower, we're giving you the premium cut Wagyu. You're going to get the best game. You're going to get Starfield, the game of the generation. Redfall, I can't wait to show you this. Crackdown 3, you know, this, that, and the third. Hellblade 2. So forth and so forth. You're going to get all this. This is going to be premium cut. They even told you we're now, you know, we're going to now be able to release games in quality. Not only did they not release in quality, they're not even releasing anything. So it's just something that you guys got to consider and understand. And don't listen to those out on the internet. As we showed you earlier today, you have a lot of people out there on the internet that just talk a lot of shit, right? They don't know what they're talking about. They're getting the conversation around the PlayStation 5 Pro totally wrong. It's totally wrong. It is so wrong. It's unbelievably wrong. They're talking about, they can't mess with a PC and all this other stuff. And then you got Alex of Digital Foundry that's feeding the narrative too. And we showed you. When you look at everything in entirely and not just look at vertical slices that people want to give you because they're fanboying or they want to be right over something wrong. When you look at everything in entirety, you can see what's going on here. You have a PC guy that was asked, well, give your value proposition about the PlayStation 5 Pro. If you're a PC guy, I get it. 99.9% of PC dudes are going to look at the PlayStation 5 Pro and say, why would I want this? Like, if I'm a PC guy and I didn't buy a PlayStation 5 base, or I hardly play on my or I do have one and I hardly play on it, how is the Pro going to entice me? Because number one, maybe I don't play a lot of PlayStation exclusives. If at all, if I don't have a PlayStation, like if I'm a PC guy and I don't really play on PlayStation, or I don't even have one, this is not going to entice me at all. If a PlayStation 5 base didn't entice you, a Pro's not going to entice you either. I'm sorry. If you're a PC guy, it just isn't. So asking a PC guy what he thinks about the PlayStation 5 Pro, I mean, it's entertaining, but is it something that's foundational in relation to its target demo? No. The PC dude cannot relate to the PlayStation gamer. They cannot relate to the plug and play needs of the PlayStation gamer. And I think Oliver extenuated that perfectly when he said, look, I'm looking at this totally differently. PC is, if you want a living room experience, PC is horrible for the living room. No, you're not going to get a good, and look, for what you get, for what you don't get in performance has been heavily reduced by this. You make up for cost and convenience. So if you're a console gamer, this thing will keep you a console gamer. I think that's the best argument you could make for this. Not, is this better than a PC and is it going to bring PC game? No, I think the purest argument in its most sensical form is, does this thing do its job in keeping you a console gamer? And I feel like even with the hefty price that is controversial, that's got me at pause, I can still make a sensible analysis and say yes. Because if I really want performance that much and I'm a console gamer, I got to start from scratch or make some heavy upgrades to a PC, or just pay $700 and get a Pro after I trade in my base PlayStation. And if you're in the States, they're giving you as much as $410 right now for a PlayStation at GameStop. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Please tell me. At some point in time, we got to be able to have these conversations. We got to have an ability to agree to agree and disagree without going too far in the weeds. Nobody should be saying that a PlayStation 5 Pro is better than a 4070. Along with nobody should be saying that there's no purpose of a PlayStation 5 Pro. That's idiotic. Is the PlayStation 5 Pro, what about that price? That's a plausible discussion. Does it do enough to keep console gamers on console? That's a plausible discussion. That's the discussion right there. Y'all wanting to have all these dumb conversations on the internet is why I think our channel is growing. And you guys, I see it. You guys' channels are decreasing. People are tired of being lied to. They were lied to. They were made. They were all excited for this generation. They came into this generation being told Xbox was going to take over because it wasn't that everybody wanted Xbox to take over. Everybody loves a great Cinderella story. You know what I'm saying? Like, people loved it simply to see the PlayStation 4 bounce back and wallop the Xbox because Xbox was walking around arrogant with Donnie D. Just some people like that. Yeah, but no, people were fed this bullshit about 40 to 50 frame deltas and how Xbox was going to make the best game. People really thought that Xbox of old was coming back on steroids. And they were misled. Siri says, we're gonna get to this chat. Siri Gabby says, what more am I getting compared to the base? That was the question and it was answered. Yeah, that is the question. I don't know. It wasn't, I would argue and say we were given a snapshot into what could be possible, but I don't think it was fully answered. That's why I'm still apprehensive about a day one purchase. But I'm willing to look and see more. Like, I'm in the market for this thing as long as I can start seeing some definitive numbers. Okay, I seen Digital Foundry evaluate Vapor and tell me that Dragon's Dogma has a performance mode. That sounds awesome. I want to hear this from PlayStation. You see what I'm saying? I want to hear it from PlayStation. I want to hear critical games that are not PlayStation first party exclusives because they already look great. I think the Pro is needed more for second party games and third party games. I want you to pick out some of the most egregious second party and third party games, like a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth performance mode. And I want you to show me a crisp image and give me at least some roundabout numbers. You're going to get 1440p, or you're going to get plus however you guys want it. You're going to get an upscale. You're going to get a 4K version, even if you don't want to give specific pixel count, which none of these platforms ever really do. It's either upscale to 4K or not. Is it going to have a 60 frames per second mode? And is it going to be a flat 60? That's what I want to hear for specific. I want to hear it for each specific game. I don't want to hear an overall broad hope. I want to hear what you're actually doing per game. I want to hear what Digital Foundry tried to do, but I want to hear it from the authentic games itself, not Vapor. I want to hear from the authentic games. OGG Game Master Mac. He said, why are you time me out? But why are you corporate cock? Son, time to go to bed. No spaghetti for you. Yeah, we're gonna time. I guess somebody already timed him out, or maybe his shit didn't even make it. Yeah, you did. Damn, his shit didn't even make it.
Who timed out?
OG Game Master Mac.
Who the fuck is that?
Somebody that was in the chat. They were like, grown men cucking for corporate kings. I don't even see their comment, so it must have already. It must have. I see it here in my what do you call it? I see it here in my my comment app, but I don't see it here in the chat. So chat must have already filtered it out. Good job, chat. So OG Game Master Mac, I ain't got to do shit. You've already been timed out, bro. You're already blocked.
Get banned.
Yeah, you're banned. Now, OG Game Master, if you want to come out here, and you can come and talk shit. Like, there's a bunch of people. Look, here's the thing. This is not a politically correct channel at all. You fucking doofus. This is not a politically correct channel. I will fuck your mom live on air. That's how politically incorrect that we are. You could come on here and you can talk your shit. I don't care. You just don't have to do silly goofball stuff like that to try to get attention. Come on here and talk your shit. True Virgil and others do it all the time. You don't have to be a doofus in order to do it. We just, of course, we don't want the channel banned, so we curb our own shit. You know, we will curb our own conversation as long as we ain't gonna get it banned. But if me telling you that I'll bend your mom over the kitchen table while you're eating your SpaghettiOs right in front of you, that ain't gonna get the channel in trouble, then I'm fucking tell you to do it. So you come on here, talk your shit, do the same thing. Nobody cares. This is not one of those channels. This is not PBS. This is, we talk more shit than anybody. But you're a lame doofus for trying to come on here and say that, yeah, ban me. Instead of just coming out here, argue and talk your shit. Yeah, Mary Wilcox got that correct. David, why are you saying people shouldn't get a PlayStation 5 Pro? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Xbox are so toxic. They're a lot of them are just lame. They're lame. If he could have came on here, I would have been more than glad to go back and we would have been more than glad to have fun with him and go back and forth. And he could have talked to shit, could have called us all types of names that would have gone and wouldn't have affected the algorithm. But no, you took the easy way out, like a punk ass. So, yeah, David, why do you think people shouldn't get a Pro? He said because it's not much better than a Play. How do you know? Let me ask you this, David. We got to keep it a buck. Will it not be the best console out there? Do you doubt that it will be the best console out there? I mean, we already have a PlayStation that I would argue, I don't have the exact games list in front of me. I would argue for the majority of the games that people care about and play, that they play the best on PlayStation. It might be by a hair, but a slight majority of the games that we care about, the AAA game, not old games from 1982, not Halo 2. Halo 2 can run at 39,000 frames per second. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the games that are coming out now. The overwhelming majority of what I don't want to say the overwhelming, at least by a hair, they perform better on the PlayStation than the world's most powerful console. So that means I can get better performance out of my $400 console than people can get out of their $500 console. You already have that happening with the base PlayStation versus the base Xbox Series X. If you're telling me a console that is going to completely shift that from a slight margin to pretty much all the games that come out, including the Xbox games, if you feel like that's not worth it, then that's fine. It's not worth it to you. But there's people that wipe their ass with $700 that just they don't care. It's their money. They can do what they want with it. For one, that's assuming all of the stuff that we're hearing, which to me, based off of what we're hearing, if I was going to take it as gospel, I would say that's significantly better. Like you guys are stuck on these base resolutions which 864, here's another thing that's being taken out of context. When they were analyzing Alan Wake, and what was the other game? Fuck. It was Alan Wake and Assassin's Creed Shadows. When they were evaluating those games, a particular frame that they had gave them 864. But there was like another frame that they got out of what do you call it? Out of Alan Wake 2 that was at 1260 something. So if we're talking about a performance mode that has like heavy ray tracing effects, PSSR's upscaling is that fucking bomb to where the image quality is decent. Even if the base image quality is 864, you couldn't tell the difference unless Digital Foundry told you so. But the image quality is superb, as in one of the ways that Oliver described it. Are you trying to tell me that wouldn't be worth it, where none of the other consoles are giving you superb ray traced quality in a performance mode? Is that what you're telling me? At 60 frames per second? You don't think that's worth extra money? Now we can argue if it's worth $700, but you don't think that that's significantly better? Like these third party, even on PlayStation, where most of them are performing better, even on PlayStation, you're not getting that. You're not getting heavy ray traced effects and stuff like that. So if that's what we're getting, you're trying to say that, because that all the data that we're getting so far is alluding to that. Now I call it vapor, but nowhere is there any data that alludes otherwise. That's not significantly better to you? Okay. And you said, yes, this is the most powerful console. That's what I'm saying. It's significantly better. David, I don't know why you would say that. I'm curious about that. The question is, how much better is it? And for its target demo that they want to entice in upgrading, and B, who they want to keep from playing their third-party games on console, are they going to think that the upgrade is worth $700? In order to prove that, they got to give numbers. They got to show footage. They got to show moving footage. They got to do side-by-side comparisons that mean something, and not horrible, crappy compressed video. They got to do side-by-side comparisons and show the difference for them to get maximum gains off of this. So I'm not saying there's not an argument to be had, but to definitively say it's not worth it, I don't think we're there yet. It may not be worth it to you, but I don't know what you heard that made you definitively say it's not worth it overall. You didn't hear anything. Yeah, they did Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, again, based off of vapor. Did you hear the analysis? When they did the analysis, they were like, oh, the compression and this, and we used this technology, the codec that is just, but the blacks still were crushed and it made it harder to count this and that. They still don't know. They still don't know. And if my memory serves me correct, David, they used the same technique on Hellblade 2 to try to get information on how Hellblade 2 would perform, and they were wrong. Because when Hellblade 2 came out and they were actually able to analyze it, they didn't get those same numbers. The numbers were higher. So that's why I say this is vapor, for one. For two, they did Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Oliver said it still looked great. He said there was some weird stuff going on in some portions of the game, but he said overall it was a great looking title. It's a great looking game. Now, David, let me ask you, do you primarily game on console or PC? If you game on PC like Alex, then I can understand you saying, well, 700 would be more. But if you're a console gamer, you're pretty much getting the visual settings of Ratchet. You're getting the visual output of Ratchet and Clank quality mode with ray traced effects at 60 frames per second. Huh? How are you a console gamer, David, and you're like ray traced effects, visual output that is on par with quality mode? And this is, again, we're assuming that their analysis is spot on, but ray traced effects, quality image output that's on par with the quality mode at 60 frames per second is not worth it. You're getting nothing like that on the base PlayStation 5. What were you expecting? Help me understand, David. What were you expecting? What would you have liked to have heard? Because I feel like there's a disconnect, and I think I know what the disconnect is, but I don't want to assume it. I'll hear it from you. What was it that you were expecting, David, to hear? What numbers did you want to hear out of the presentation that would have made you say, you know what, that's worth it? That's worth $700. Let's put it like that. What did you want to hear? Because I've already created a video and I told you all what I would have wanted to hear. What did you want to hear that would have made you say it's worth $700? I'm just curious. Yeah, I got to get me in. I got to upgrade. He says GTA 6 can run at 30 frames per second on both. I don't know what you mean. 60 frames per second? David, what are you talking about? We know GTA is going to, we could all assume, I hope GTA is going to run at 30 frames per second on both. What was it that you wanted to hear? Because you're talking about Ratchet and Clank, but now you're talking about GTA. What numbers did you want to hear to make you say, you know what? This is worth it to me. Yeah. I think David meant 60. He could have meant 60. I'm hoping he meant 60. I'm just confused because he talked about Ratchet and Clank, and then he's talking about Rockstar, which this is not a gotcha. We're having a conversation here. This is not a gotcha. This is like, maybe there's something that we're not focusing on, or maybe it just doesn't matter to you. Whatever, it's fine. But I'm just curious, Dave, what numbers did you want to hear to make you say, because I told you guys what I wanted to hear. I told you guys that I wanted to hear, like for instance, with GTA, I was like, I want to hear a base 1080p upscale to 4K for a 60 frames per second mode. It may target 1080p or it may target 1200p, and it might dip as low as 864. But if PSSR is that good as the way that they're making it sound, that's kind of like an ultra. That's between ultra and performance mode. Which, if we're talking about Grand Theft Auto being a CPU intensive game, and you're not going to get 60 frames per second elsewhere except for PC when it launches there a year to 2 years later, then that would be enough for me to get a Pro. Because that's going to be a good sign that this thing is going to have fairly decent performance modes with games where there normally wouldn't be a performance mode, or if you made a performance mode on the base model, would probably dip down to 540p. You know what I'm saying? With no AI reconstruction. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I think we're missing here, Dave. I think we're missing that the FSR techniques that you see upscaling this shit on the base consoles, that's out the window. You're getting PSSR, which is an AI and machine learning based upscaler that's going to perform way better. So you're talking about a game that would dip as low as what, 720p using FSR2, which is shitty, versus a game dipping as low as 864 but using this PSSR AI and machine learning upscaling. That's going to be totally different. Totally different. You're going to get a significantly better image quality with games, and that's something that I didn't take into account when I made my original video. And here's the kicker, David, to add to that. Not only you'll get one when it's been out. Here's the kicker, David. Not only is the AI and machine learning upscale going to be significantly better than FSR, but here's the kicker. It's only going to get better. The aforementioned Stadia, I won't stay on here too long. A lot of my Stadians that are in the Chariot Man Gaming, he knows what I'm talking about. Chariot Man, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Internet of Games, he knows what I'm saying. If I'm lying, I'm flying, right, IOG? There are plenty of times when you booted up Stadia, you looked at a game and you're like, this is alright. This ain't the best. You might put it down for a little bit, come back to it a week later. Boot that motherfucker, it's sharp as hell. You're like, hold on, what the fuck? What the hell? What happened here? Was there a patch? No, that's the AI and machine learning. It's learning. It's making the image quality better. The pixels are more accurate and do more to make the image quality better. So yeah, Stadia may have failed, but all that time I spent learning how that technology works, I had to think about that and be like, oh, me sitting there having these baseline 1080p or 1440p, that's me basing it off of current base model technology, which is relying upon FSR2. No. PSSR is greater than that. It may not be as good as DLSS right now, but it's greater than that. So we're going to get significantly better image quality than we are with FSR2. It's going to do a significantly better job. So that means that base resolution doesn't need to be as high as it needs to be for FSR2. And it's only going to get better as more and more people play these games on PSSR. They're going to experience the same thing that I experienced. It's even going to be even more rapid, because instead of maybe tens of thousands or a few 100,000 people playing via Stadia, you're going to have millions of people playing on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So it's going to be significantly better. Shout out. We got, Chariot Man Gamers, like, laugh out loud. Yup, they know what I'm talking about. Chariot Man, IOG. He says it'll sell out. I don't know. Here's David. Here's where I'm kind of with you here. Here's where I'm kind of with you. I am apprehensive about the price, and I'm not backing away from this argument here. This is my apprehension. But the ball is in Sony's court. Sony needs to do two things. Number one, show you detail. Specific detail with specific games. And they need to show you specific detail with specific games that we know are troublesome. Like, my biggest presentations would be around Final Fantasy VII, Alan Wake, Dragon's Dogma, and Grand Theft Auto 6. Why? because those are for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy XVI at that. Those were games that are known to, those two games are known to have notoriously bad performance modes visually. So you need to show what PSSR is doing there. Secondly, you need to show the CPU intensive games, how you going to rock it out and kill it on the CPU intensive games. Hearing that Dragon's Dogma is going to get a 60 frames per second mode is very enlightening. We need to hear that from you, and we need to see how it performs. Okay? Then chapter 2 or phase 2 is the most important thing that you need to do. You need to put out numbers that shut Digital Foundry the fuck up. You need to put out numbers that make Digital Foundry look like fools. And you remove the ball and chain that Digital Foundry has over how at least your products are being viewed. Because when that information came out from Jim Ryan in court, oh, we're worried about how Call of Duty is, how the quality of it's going to be if Microsoft buys them with Digital Foundry. When he said that, he pretty much took the power out of Mark Cerny's hands and put it in Richard Ledbetter's hands. So even when people are doubting Mark Cerny, I'm doubting them too. Not because of Digital Foundry, I just still need to see shit. I know Mark Cerny's a genius, but I still need to see shit. But a lot of people are doubting Mark Cerny because they're like, well, Mark, you're telling us this. You've proven yourself time and time and time and time. Rapid pack math and all that shit. You've proven it time and time and time again. Games on God of War on a PlayStation 4 Slim, a $200 device, looking better than games on the Xbox One X, a $500 device. You've proven yourself time and time again, but I'm not going to believe it until Digital Foundry tells me so. Nobody's even talking about Mark Cerny anymore. Everybody's talking about who? Digital Foundry. PlayStation has to take the power out of Digital Foundry's hands that Jim Ryan put in there. And they do that by putting out numbers. For instance, you may have heard, if I'm Mark Cerny, I'm doing this with fucking flair and shit. You may have heard that, what's the name? It's going to run as low as 864p. Ha 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 ha. But what people didn't know is that running these minuscule techniques, yeah, I'm throwing some spice in there. These minuscule techniques, or these elementary techniques, will not tell you the power of the PlayStation 5 Pro. We have Dragon's Dogma running at a bare minimum 1080p, base model 1080p, upscaled beautifully with the PlayStation PSSR tech that is way better than the FSR. I'm talking shit. Even if you don't get to kill them on every single game, take a game where you can kill them motherfuckers and kill them. No mercy. Put their heads in a guillotine, chop it off. That's what you need to do. So, David, I'm not completely admonishing your apprehension. I'm apprehensive with you because of the price. But I can be apprehensive personally and look at the value proposition objectively for everybody else that they're trying to target here. I have the things that I'm looking for, but I get it. I understand. Everybody's not me. So I mean, I'm leaning more and more as the days go on. I'm leaning more and more towards getting it and getting it day one. But there's still some things that I need PlayStation and Sony to do. I need them personally to put numbers around the most troublesome games, or at least give us visuals on some of the most troublesome games. But what I need them to do more than anything because I'm tired of this being in the hands of Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry is an entertainment group. Like, it's good to hear their analysis after the fact, but when we go into this preemptive shit, again, Juice, shout out to Juice. I don't know if you're still here. They're the ones that was telling you that Series S gave you all these big hopes about Series S. They gave us all these big hopes about the Xbox One X. There were so many times when Digital Foundry got it wrong that Mark Cerny, who's gotten it right, now we don't even want to believe him. We want to believe, I'm not going to believe that until Digital Foundry says that. Why? Because Jim Ryan put that power in their hands. And I think it's about time to bring Digital Foundry back to, as much as I love their videos, as entertaining as they are, as good as their shit, their videos are good for talking shit. Us making a decision in advance before they even get it in their hands, when preemptively before, time and time again, including Richard Ledbetter, who I enjoy his content. He's been wrong, dead ass wrong. Go look at those Xbox One X videos. Look at them. I know, because I was a victim. I was a victim. Watch them videos. They were wrong. They were wrong again about the Series S. They were wrong about the PlayStation 5 when there was these rumors going around that the PlayStation 5 wouldn't be doing a lot of 60 frames per second games. And Digital Foundry was kind of feeding that narrative. They were wrong. The preemptive, the predictive shit that they talk, it sounds smart, it sounds fancy. It should just be viewed as entertainment. The only thing that matters is when they take their little monocles and they count the actual pixels off the actual games. And if you're told that you have a beast of a machine, but you got a other machine that's cheaper, that is doing better, people should hear about that. That goes to the extent of Digital Foundry's usefulness. I'm sorry. Outside of entertainment. That's it. What do I think about no disk drive, says David? I don't like it. I feel like that they're trying to increase. Here's what they're doing in a nutshell. And then I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Here's what they're doing. Digital Foundry, PlayStation, I believe, is charging $700 for two reasons. Reason number one, they have no competition. Xbox is not putting out Xbox isn't competitive at all, and they're not putting out a device that competes with the PlayStation 5 Pro. They're doing these mid-gen refreshes. I'm sorry. What the fuck am I talking about? Xbox is putting glitter on their fucking consoles and charging an extra $100, $150. It's a fucking joke. So PlayStation has no competition. So as Ampere Group and other analysts have said, they are protecting their margins. Why lower your margins when this is a high margin device anyway? It's a mid-gen refresh. Shout out to Porter Rock. Porter Rock said this during one of his podcasts. You're not going to take a loss on a mid-gen refresh because you're not selling to a group that's not already buying your games. You only take a loss on a console to sell software. So if the group is already going to buy your software, why sell it at a loss? A mid-gen refreshes should always be sold at a plus. The Xbox Series X, the Xbox One X wasn't sold at a plus because Microsoft just don't know what the fuck they're doing. They sold a mid-gen refresh console at a loss that was bottlenecked by the previous version and had the SRAM in it. Stupid. And then they repeated the same mistake, bottleneck issue with the Series S versus the Series X. But anybody else that has a fully functional brain knows that you do not sell a, what's it called, at a loss, a mid-gen refresh at a loss. It's a luxury item. But I think normally where they would have sold it for $600 or at least sold the $700 model with a disc. Where I think they didn't do that is because not only do they not have any competition, but B, this device is being sold at this price to make up its margins that they're losing, because their margins went from 12 to 13% at the beginning of the generation, or even a year or two prior, to now only 6%. Margins are the profits, the net profits. And investors are concerned about that. Investors are like, well, if your profits are decline by 50%, I don't think I'm going to invest in you. So the CFO was like, well, what's up with this mid-gen refresh thing? Do you think we can pump another $100 out of that? Huh? And that's what they're doing. So you can thank Hiroki Totoki for that. But that's why they're doing it. And again, because they have no competition, because they're trying to increase their margins, they didn't sell it with a disc drive. I don't agree with that move at all. I think what PlayStation should have done, now this is controversial, but I want to be on the record for saying this because I have experience with this. And people can huckle and you can call me a boob to mock Broomstick. You can call me a boob. But here's what I think PlayStation should have done. I think PlayStation, now hear me out. I think PlayStation should have charged $100 for the disc drive. Hear me out. I think they should have charged $100 for the disc drive. I think they should have left the PlayStation 5 Slim Digital at $399. I think they should have left it there because they would have gotten increased margins because of the new lower prices of the hardware. They would not a lot, but they would have got some. I would have sold that. I would have kept it at $399. I would have had the disc drive at $100. And then what I would have done is sold the bundle for $479. The slim bundle for $479. All right. Hear me out. Then I would have sold the PlayStation 5 Pro at $599. And again, I wouldn't have had a SKU for the disc drive at all. If you want a disc drive with this thing, then you got to go spend $100 to get. You see how they're making a plus there, right? Because had you done that, you would have sold more consoles to the base population, because that's who you need your consoles to saturate with. And then the extra $100 price tag, or the increased price on the disc drive, that would have been okay for the price enthusiasts, because if they really wanted a disc drive, they could have paid $100 for it, right? They still wouldn't have the same margins because, again, we foregone the $50 that they added to the digital. How did they make that up? You open a PlayStation PC store purely on the cloud. What am I talking about? You have select PlayStation games that are available on the store that if you buy them from the PlayStation store, you can play them on the cloud on your PC. I would charge full retail for them, or what you normally would. It's like you're buying it from the store, but you don't need a PlayStation to play them. Here's the thing: people are like, "Oh no, you don't need a play." No. This doesn't harm the console at all. Why doesn't it harm the console? Because as great as the PlayStation experience is on the cloud, it's nowhere near as good as it is natively. And you don't get the full perks of the console in this store. You're going to get select PlayStation games that you put on the cloud, greatest hits. You might have a game or two day and date. After 6 months after it launches on the console, you'll get it in the cloud, right? And it's all on PC. You don't get every single game. You don't get PlayStation Plus perks. And you still charge like a $10 to access the store on PC. You don't understand how many people would run to that store to have the ability to play PlayStation games on the cloud via their PC, even if they gotta pay $10 a month. That's how high demand PlayStation games are. I feel like there's about 10 to 20 million people that would be willing to do that. You do a beta rollout in certain regions, see how it goes, and then you add and take away games, depending upon the region based upon activity. And you allow people to buy games out of the PlayStation Store, and they can play these games on the cloud via PC. Not every single game day and date. And here what that does is that increase margins too, because that 10 to 20 million, they're going to buy a couple of games. People, they're going to run to these PlayStation games and they're going to buy them. You ain't got to worry about piracy, none of that stuff. Really, I think PlayStation should only bring their games to PC natively after 4 years. And this is their way of bringing their games to PC. You ain't got to deal with piracy, none of that stuff. Because my concern is, if I'm PlayStation and I'm bringing my games to PC natively, you're gonna deal with piracy at a crazy rate. Look at Horizon Forbidden West. They cracked that game, 35 seconds after it launched. That's how I feel like I think PlayStation needs to be a little bit more aggressive with its cloud gaming approach on PC. Not every single game, and not every single game day and date. You might have a game or two that you'll do day and date on the cloud. Maybe you make all games standard. They come to PlayStation Plus store on the cloud or on PC 6 months after launch. That does not harm your console gamer, because your console gamer, first and foremost, as great as PlayStation is on the cloud, PlayStation 5 is on the cloud, it's nowhere near as good as it is. Well, I won't say nowhere near. It's not as good as it is natively, for one. And for two, if I'm not getting games day and date, then hell yeah, I'm still going to get a console. It doesn't affect the base that are willing to buy a console. It only affects those that have a PC that are willing to stream PlayStation games because they're in high demand, but are never in the market for your console anyway. That's what I would do. And that's how you make up the margins. Just my thoughts. Hold on one second. Those are my thoughts. All right, let's see what you guys think about all this. I babbled enough, and then we're about to get out of here. No one knows what they're measuring it with. It's calibrated. If they did or didn't edit the little cute graphs, we know they have interfered for Xbox for years now. $500 in 2020 is 608, 16 today. It's been a historical high interest rate. Just sought your whole slate. What's the word on the 2-week gap between PlayStation Direct and GameStop? I don't know. I don't know, Real Royal. That's a great question. I'm hearing that rumor, but I don't know how true that is. I know, but I would have liked to have seen them go all in the 850 with the edge. Here's the thing, IOG. PSSR is going to be revolutionary, I think. And this in IOG, you know this too. Like, shout out to the homie IOG. IOG, are you on Threads? I highly suggest that y'all follow IOG. My bro has a YouTube channel. He's given me a lot of great tips throughout the years. My bro knows what he's talking. He knows his tech. IOG, if you want to drop a link, go ahead and do it here in the chat so people can follow your shit, bro. IOG's helped me calibrate my TV, like all types of shit though. He knows his shit, and he helped introduce me to Outlaws mode on Star Wars Outlaws, which I'm not the biggest fan of the game, but I tried that Outlaws. Hey man, that shit's crazy. But anyway, IOG, you know this. Another reason why I would do that is because I would also offer via the cloud the ability to play some of these games with PSSR technology. Maybe this is all beta. This is all beta. You have select games. You have two different tiers, maybe a $10 tier and a $15 tier. A $15 tier gives you select games with PSSR being streamed to you with PSSR technology. The $10 tier gives you the base technology. I would do that because guess what that does? That trains the AI and machine learning, and that makes the PlayStation 6 a fucking beast. To where, again, you don't need all this powerful native hardware if the AI and machine learning is duplicating these pixels in such a phenomenal way. I think and give it about 4 or 5 years, even though DLSS has a significant what do you call it? Even though DLSS has a significant head start, this is PlayStation we're talking about. When you look at the graphics cards that are DLSS capable versus the potential consoles that PlayStation can sell, not the PlayStation 5 Pros, but the PlayStation 5 user base, it is dwarfed. It's dwarfed. So why not increase access to PSSR and have it close that gap between that and DLSS and have it surpass that? So yeah, I would have two tiers. I would have a $9.99 tier that gives you access to select PlayStation games 6 months or so after launch that you can play via the cloud. You got to buy them. If you're not going to a PC store, whatever, you can't pirate them. You got to go to the PlayStation store and buy them. And you can either play them on your PlayStation 5, or if you don't have a PlayStation 5, you can play these select games through PlayStation Cloud on PC, app or whatever. The $14.99 tier gives you access, or $17, whatever you want to charge, gives you access to the PSSR version of these games. That trains that AI and machine learning to where, bro, they don't need to go to 850. They don't need to do that. PSSR, you just need enough tech to create a base resolution and create the ray tracing stuff, and then you let PSSR do the rest. Internet of Games said, I have an interesting patent for you to read from Sony about their Wi-Fi direct controller. That would be awesome. Yeah, Mark Cerny. Yep, send that to me, bro. Mark Cerny is the light and PS Pro is the savior. At Internet of Games, that's me. Yep. Check them out. Check out this shit. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. That was my wife coming in here talking about, you've been in here long enough, motherfucker. I'm going to get out of here. But thank y'all very much. I appreciate. Thank y'all so much for the support. We're going to keep doing it. Well, we just did a show today because it just made sense with so many people that showed up. But what we're going to do tomorrow is just spend 30 to 45 minutes talking about the latest in games, gaming news, and then we're going to go over and do a game stream. I really thank you guys. And I just want to leave you, and I'll let Cold Blood have the last word. I just want to leave you guys with this. I think you guys deserve better as far as the bullshit that you're being fed. You're seeing a lot of disingenuous or just plain dumb conversations out here. And I think you guys deserve better. As you see, we're willing to criticize our favorite platforms, not to appear unbiased, but to make sure that you understand what's happening and why, so you can make the best consumer decision. Because a lot of these the main conversations that are happening out here are not doing that for you. We appreciate the growth. We feel like you guys are tired of the bullshit that you're being fed, and the best thing that you can do to try to help influence these people. We don't need to have a monopoly on this. I want to influence the conversation out there to be better. We don't need to have a monopoly on this. But in order for that conversation to get better and people to get more factual, they got to see that you guys appreciate, or gamers appreciate, factual conversations. So spread the word. Let people know that we're out here. And again, we have an open door policy. I don't give a fuck. Come on, if you've got a debate or feel like we're talking bullshit, come on and say what you got to say. Say what you got to say. We don't shy away or run from nobody. All right. Those are my thoughts. I'm gonna get out of here, but before we do that, I talk so much. Cold Blood, did you have any final thoughts before we get out of here, bro?
Yeah, the lesson we learned today is we need to build a PC without RAM and with integrated graphics. Because the CPU or the APU is going to have enough VRAM. You don't need RAM.
Oh my God. Shout out to Sean. Sean come here. He come in and break at midnight all the time. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Well, with that said, that's the lesson for today. You don't need any RAM. And see, we're out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, if you're a member, we'll be here around 8:30 a.m. to like 10:30 a.m. For a couple hours doing early bird special, and then we'll be back here 2:30 again tomorrow. We're gonna have a shorter live spill, and then we're gonna get into some gameplay. All right. Until then, y'all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace. Hold on. Oh shit. I gotta fix something. It's gonna take you guys directly. Hold on. I forgot about that. I still had it redirect. Okay. Save that. All right. Now we can end. Y'all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace. He's stupid.